Japan is trembling. Quite literally, over 900 earthquakes have struck in a relentless wave, turning calm coastlines into zones of unease. And now, all eyes are locked on the 5th of July, a date that is wrapped in dread, folklore, and a very chilling manga prophecy. So, what's coming may not just be another quake, it could be the one. Take a look.
The earth is rumbling beneath Japan, and it's not stopping. In the past 2 weeks alone, over 900 earthquakes have rattled on a remote island, is unleashing a storm of seismic fury that feels less like nature and more like a warning. The ground won't rest, and neither will the fear. The rumor originates from a 2022 Japanese comic book, The Future I Saw, which features a dream for seeing a tsunami and is also available in Chinese. The popular manga artist, known for eerily accurate past predictions, forewarned of a catastrophic disaster striking Japan in early July, specifically pinpointing July 5th. The fears of a megaquake have led to flight cancellations and reductions in service, affecting tourism. Experts are repeatedly asserting that these are just rumors.
There are three conditions for earthquake predictions: timing, location, or its magnitude. With today's scientific technology, we cannot predict an earthquake. Such spreading rumor is a hoax.
Now, over the past 2 weeks, the remote Tokara Islands, part of Japan's Kagoshima Prefecture, have been battered by close to 1,000 tremors, with over 235 striking in a single day. Tokyo now has urged the 89 residents of a small southern island to evacuate. Despite the assurances from the Japanese government, people are worried. What if the prophecy is right? What if these tremors are the prelude, the foreshocks to something unspeakable? Japan lies on the Pacific Ring of Fire, a geological crucible where colossal tectonic plates collide. This makes it one of the most seismically active regions on Earth, prone to devastating earthquakes and the subsequent terrifying tsunamis, one of humanity's deepest primal fears. Bureau Report, We on World is one.
My name is Tom Holman. I'm the former.
Yeah, see? So, things are happening in the world, man. You might think that, I don't know what prophecy they were talking about, but first let me start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, bishops at Great Millstone for teaching me this truth. It's your brother Rabbi Knapp coming out with a lesson. Lord's will is edifying to the Lord's elect. But as you see, Japan's having 900 earthquakes. That's prophecy. I don't know what book they, I don't know what, they believe in Hinduism, I'm guessing, or Buddhism, or whatever they believe in. But our scriptures tell us about these things. Okay. As a matter of fact, let me start in the book of 2nd Esdras. 16. 2nd Esdras 16. Actually, no, 3. Verse number, was it 4? Salakia. 2nd Esdras 4. 38. It says, Then answered I and said, O Lord, that bearest rule, even we all are full of impiety. And for our sakes, peradventure, it is that the floors of the righteous are not filled because of the sins of them that dwell upon the earth. So he answered me and said, Go thy way to a woman with child, and ask of her, when she hath fulfilled her 9 months, if her womb may keep the birth any longer within her. Then said I, No, Lord, that can she not. And he said unto me, In the grave the chambers of souls are like the womb of a woman. For like as a woman that travaileth maketh haste to escape the necessity of the travail, even so do these places haste to deliver those things that are committed unto them. From the beginning, look what thou desirest to see, it shall be showed thee. Then answered I and said, If I have found favor in thy sight, and if it be possible, if I be meet therefore, show me then whether there be more to come than is past, or more past than is to come. What is past I know, but what is for to come I know not. And he said unto me, Stand up upon the right side, and I shall expound the similitude unto you. So I stood and saw, and behold, a hot burning oven passed by before me. And it happened that when the flame was gone by, I looked, and behold, the smoke remained still. And after this, there passed by before me a watery cloud. Hold on, this is a typo. I'm thinking it's saying a water cloud, but I just want to double check. Second edges 4 and 49. And after this, a cloud full of water passed before me and poured down a heavy and violent rain. And when the rainstorm had passed, drops remained in the clouds. That's okay. Verse 50. Then said he unto me, Consider with thyself, as the rain is more than the drops, as the fire is greater than the smoke, but the drops in the smoke remain behind. So the quantity which is past did more exceed. Then I prayed and said, May I live, thinkest thou, until that time? Or what shall happen in those days? He answered me and said, As for the tokens whereof thou askest me, I may tell thee of them in part. But as touching thy life, I am not sent to show thee, for I do not know it. So the angel told him a lot in this from second Esdras, the 4th chapter to Esdras. And he was basically comparing a woman in travail, a woman that's pregnant, about to fulfill her 9 months, or bringing forth that her baby, is similar to the times to come. Okay, these things that are happening in the world are contractions of the things to come, which is the kingdom, which is Yahweh Shai. Okay, so having earthquakes randomly, but then having 900 earthquakes within 2 weeks, that's the contractions getting shorter and shorter, just like it says in the book of Matthew. And that's just one thing. And then he starts asking, what does this mean? Then he compares it to a watery cloud. Okay, like with the small drops, there's a lot of rain and there's a lot of water in a watery cloud, but the rain, the drops that are still in the cloud is less than all the rain that's gonna go everywhere else. That's similar to the remnant. Okay, just like the fire is greater than the smoke. Okay, you see the smoke, but imagine how much fire how much destruction had to come first before you saw that smoke. Okay, like it says in second Esdras 4, and I'm gonna read it again in verse 48. So I stood and saw, and behold, a hot burning oven passed by before me, and it happened that when the flame was gone by, I looked, and behold, the smoke remained still. Okay, let's see what that means. Let's see what this means according to AI overview. The verse describes a vision where a fiery furnace passes by, leaving behind smoke. This is followed by a cloud that pours down rain, leaving behind drops of water. The verse concludes by stating that the quantity of the fire and rain that passed was greater than the remaining smoke and drops, symbolizing that the time that has passed is much longer than the time to come. Okay, so that's exactly what it was talking about. Okay, it's not talking about the remnant. I'm thinking of another precept where it says a wave is greater, like a drop. That's what I was thinking about. The drop is the remnant, and the wave is mostly everyone else that's going to be destroyed, like a drop to a wave. But this is talking about how short it is, man. Most of the past has already happened. Okay, that you only see is the end of the thing. So we're closer to that, to the end times. Okay, the time that has passed is much longer than the time to come, meaning that it's short. Okay, the vision passage describes a vision where Ezra witnesses a fiery furnace followed by a rain cloud. The furnace leaves behind smoke, and the cloud leaves behind drops of water. The verse emphasizes that the initial fiery furnace and rain cloud were significantly larger and more substantial than the remaining smoke and drops. This difference in quantity is then interpreted as a representation of the past and the future. The vast amount of fire and rain symbolizes the long period of time that has already passed, while the remaining smoke and drops symbolize the comparatively shorter time that is still to come. Okay, so that's exactly what that's talking about. Not the remnant. Okay, but there's a small amount of time left. Okay, just like a woman who has 9 months pregnant, she doesn't have, majority of that time has already passed. 9 months, she's around the time when she's going to deliver the baby. Sometimes it can come before, sometimes it come a little bit after, but you're right in that time, okay, to be delivered, just like us. And these earthquakes are a sign. Okay, Matthew 24 in verse I'll just start at the top. And Yahushua went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him to show him the buildings of the temple. Now this is talking about Jerusalem, okay, the temple that's in Jerusalem. And Yahushua said unto them, see ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? Okay, so this word world means an age. Okay, because every kingdom has had an age. The only kingdom that's prophesied to rule forever is Daniel 2:44. Okay, let's just grab it. It's the only kingdom that's coming. Okay, that's meant to rule forever. Daniel 2 verse 44. And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. Okay, so that's not talking about America. Okay, so that means America has a time where it's not going to exist anymore. For as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, and it shall break in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, and silver, and the gold, the great God have made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter. And the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof is sure. Okay, so it's not is sure. The interpretation thereof sure. So this is going to happen. Okay, this is prophecy going to be fulfilled. So those of you who believe in the Bible, if you think that this is America, then you're mistaken. Okay, you're mistaken. And the fact that you can still go to war with America just shows you there's a chance that this can be taken down, especially if there's missiles that can reach hitting this place. If you think that those are never going to be used here, then I think your faith is in the wrong basket. Okay. As a matter of fact, this place, America, is more aligned with being Babylon in the scriptures. Okay. A place where wickedness has deceived the whole world. Okay. It's more aligned with that than it is to be in the kingdom of heaven. And if it's not the kingdom of heaven, then it is going to have an end. Matthew 24, and this is what this is talking about, Matthew 24:3. Matthew 24:4, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. So don't believe anything other than what's written. Don't let nobody deceive you that these things are not true. Okay, you need to be persuaded in your mind that this Bible's real, that the Lord is real and he's not lying. Second Esdras 6 and 9, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Esau, who came out red all over like a hairy garment, still exists today. Job 9 and 24 tells you that he runs the whole world. All right? And he got an end. And his end is starting to be, is evident. It's manifest. We can see it. Why? Look at the laws that are being passed. Right now, they're operating on this big, beautiful bill. Okay? This is on Donald Trump's social, True Social. He just opened up Alligator, Alcatraz. As a matter of fact, Alligator, Alcatraz, man. Same thing, man. 3 hours ago. First detainees arrive. Same thing, man. Let's see if we can get a video. So this is the end.
Coming in, but it's a busload of
Oh man, what did I do? Okay, I don't know what the hell's going on. Trying to skip this ad. Okay.
busload of migrants coming in, but it's a busload of immigrants coming in. No.
They arrived today.
Definitely see them coming in.
Okay. I don't know what the hell this is, but that's what's going on here, man. Key points. We're not even going to read the whole thing. The first detainees have arrived at the Everglades Immigration Facility, nicknamed Alligator Alcatraz. The facility officially opened on July 1st, 2 days ago, following a visit from President Trump. Critics have condemned the facility, referring to it as a concentration camp. And so this is what you're starting to see. Second Esdras, the 16th chapter, is starting to play out. You know, I'm going to run through that real quick. These are scriptures you should get familiar with, especially 68 on down. Okay, I'm going to read it. Second Esdras 16 and 68. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you. And that's talking about Esau. Okay, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, creating, coming in like a flood because he know that he got a short time left. Okay, and he's mad because of the blessing, not because of your skin color. Because if you still think it's about racism, then you don't know what's going on, man. And this great multitude, this is talking about like mercenary groups coming down on the Israelites. Pretty much everybody, martial law. Okay, concentration camps. Okay, they're going to take away certain of you. They're already starting to take you Israelites into there now. Quarantine camps, you know, they might be some type of plague. They might use other things too in disguise of mad different things, man. This is the time that we're coming into. Okay. You know, the great multitude, talking about these UN troops, these different mercenaries that are going to be brought up. All right. And then it says, it shall take away certain of you putting in these concentration camps and feed you being idle with things offered unto idols. And that's talking about the MOTB. Okay. That's going to pretty much make you a sacrifice to a pagan god, man. That's why we're making our bodies a living sacrifice to the Heavenly Father. And by us doing that, that's going to hopefully get us not to take to the Lord fight for us during this time, this great temptation. Because, you know, there's going to be wars. If you're not going to war, you know, there's going to be a bunch of protests. You know, he's opened up these camps now because a lot of people are not going to agree with his agenda. Not just the Israelites, but ultimately it's for them. Okay? And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden on the foot. So if they torture you and you decide to take the MOTB, guess what? You're gonna be had in derision. You're gonna be destroyed and in reproach. I can see them making fun of you. Oh, I thought you believed in the Heavenly Father. I thought you believed in Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, they're gonna mock you and trodden underfoot. Okay, whether they torture you, and you take it, the Lord's gonna destroy you. There's no, even if they slip it into you and you didn't know, you're gonna be destroyed. Okay, there's no getting around it. You lost all chances of receiving salvation if you take this MOTB. 2nd Esdras, chapter 16 and 70. So don't be fooled. Don't let nobody fool you about these things. Like Matthew the 24th chapter is telling you. This is another prophecy showing you that this is the end. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. Who fears the Lord? Fear the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. So a lot of y'all don't fear the Lord, man. And this great insurrection is talking about Jacob's trouble, where we know we're going to be faced with this temptation. We know we're gonna need food. We're gonna need water. We're gonna need shelter. We're gonna need to get away from our enemies, Esau. Some of us are gonna be put into prison. So we're doing our best to at least have this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, knowing, according to Isaiah 33:6, that's going to be the stability of the times. So no matter what happens to us, we know that the word is going to stand and that this devil got to end. And whatever you got to do, take it cheerfully. And the Lord said He's going to give you a crown of life. Okay? So that's what our hope and our faith is in, that we can endure until the end. And the insurrection is an uprising. All right? Upon those that fear the Lord. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. Yeah, they're going to be like madmen. Okay? Just like what you kind of see today with ICE agents. I seen somebody use a pickaxe to try to get some old Spanish lady and man out of a car. Okay? Now, how much more when they have all litigation backing them up, that even if they kill you, they won't be held responsible. And some of the people that have these jobs are people who've been called out on social media platforms as being part of right national organizations, who actually have a deep hatred for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And they're going to be covered with the full backing of the law to come and do whatever the hell they want with you. And people are going to be with it. They don't care if, some people are going to get deported, even if you're American. This is Jacob's trouble. This is Israel's trouble. Okay, the real Israelites. All right. This is what's going to be coming to a town near you. 2nd Esdras 16 and 72. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. So you can't stay in your house. You're going to be like a pilgrim in the earth, man. You can't just sit around and store up food and hide in your basement. Okay? You're not even going to be able to buy or sell according to this time, according to Revelation 13 and 16. Okay? This is when this chip becomes mandatory. Then we know that the head is starting to crown out of that woman. Okay? Then you know that the time is getting shorter and shorter. And then you're starting to see what Esdras was seeing in 2nd Esdras, the 4th chapter. Okay? You're going to know it's a short time left. And if the Lord don't come and save us during this time, no man's going to be saved, because this MOTB, according to Revelation 16:2, is going to give you a grievous sore. So the people who take it, they're going to be destroyed. They're going to have a grievous sore. You go into that word sore, it's talking about an ulcer, pus. Okay, just like in ancient Egypt with the boils, or the I forgot what I think it's called, a blain, something like that, man. Alcatraz, man. Look at what Alcatraz looks like. That's just one prison. That, never mind Guantanamo Bay. He's setting up other prisons in the border. So there you go. This is what you have to look forward to if you're not aligned with Esau. But all this shit right here, you got to have a mindset to have. A lot of us never even been to prison before, man. And the prisons that you did go to ain't nothing like Alcatraz, man. Okay? Guantanamo Bay. Whatever he got, that's in, I believe, in Cuba. Where's Guantanamo? Let's look at that up. Where is it? Guantanamo Bay is a U.S. naval base located in the southeastern coast of Cuba, specifically in Guantanamo Bay. So it's a specific area. But Alcatraz, Guantanamo Bay, horrific stories, man. Perfect places for them to waterboard you. Things that were banned for the military to do to these different terrorist organizations. They were still doing it after they banned it, and they were doing it in these facilities. All right. So that's like a madman sparing none. They want you to take this MOTB because Duck gonna make sure you take it. Okay, that's that cruel king that Apostle Tahar been telling you about. And if you were watching, like I was watching, the big beautiful bill being passed, they were bringing out scriptures. They would, man, it's a whole damn show in that place, man. But one thing, Hakeem, I forgot his name, Democrat. He basically, you quoted John 10:10, but he also was talking about Nebuchadnezzar. And Apostle Tahar has been saying that, and that's the spirit that he said that. He didn't bring out any scriptures, but, the fact that he even mentioned Nebuchadnezzar, man, which is the king of Babylon. And our elders have told us about this, so don't think he's going to spare you. Okay? You can watch old videos. I still watch Apostle Tahar's videos he done 10 years ago on the channel he's using today. And one of those videos, one of his first, if you go back 10 years ago, he asked some random people on the street, not him specifically, but I don't know who, some other brothers from GMS, they were asking random people 10 years ago about the MOTB. And guess what? Some people knew about it. Some pastors were actually teaching it in these churches. Okay? Not every church, not every pastor, some of them know the truth. Wherever they're at with it, they must have learned it from somewhere. They must have learned it, whether it was the spirit or they came across a great millstone, because they've been teaching for a long time, man. A very long time. So some people are saying things, and I don't know if those churches still exist, but, the people who they were talking to in that video were saying that they know the MOTB is the RFID microchip, and they explained it to a T. Now, I don't know if I don't remember if they brought out Revelation 13 and 16 to understand how biblical it is, but he said his pastor was giving them this vision of this is the time of the end. And that was 10 years ago. Okay. So we're getting closer and closer. That's 10 years past now. Now we're coming out, tomorrow's July 4th, 249th birthday of America. Hey, and most kingdoms get destroyed around this time. So all things are pointing to the end here. I just want to show a couple pictures, and they call it Alligator Alcatraz because it's alligators, man. And we know they used to feed Jake to alligators, man. So you try to escape from there, good luck. Even if you don't, it's going to be hell in there, man. It's probably going to be no food. I wouldn't be surprised if you're forced to start eating each other. If he runs some type of Hunger Games up in there in these last days, man. Because he don't listen to the House of Representatives. He's doing his own thing. Okay? You might not even get a trial. You might be sitting in jail indefinitely. And you still got to endure until the end. And the only thing that's going to sustain you is probably your bed sheets making you hang it up, or you believing into this truth, even if we put you in jail. Okay. Let me just grab that as a matter of fact. Revelation. This is the times that we in, and you know what? Nobody wants to hear it. Hey, it's on you, man. Word gonna go out as long as then this word's gonna leave too. Revelation 2:10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil, which is the so-called white man, shall cast some of you into prison, which is Alcatraz, Alligator, Alcatraz, Guantanamo Bay, El Salvador. There's other prisons that he's going to send you to. And he's going to start setting up these Walmarts as prison camps too. There's nowhere where you can go. Okay? That ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I'll give thee a crown of life. Now 10 goes into perfection. He's going to perfect you through these tribulations. Just like gold is tried through the fire to be perfected, to see how pure it is. That's what he's doing with you. If you're the elect or not, if your faith, he's testing that faith, how much you really love him. Okay? How are you going to keep, what are you going to do? Some of y'all might have to get tortured to death to prove your faith. You know, some people ain't gonna tell you that, man. But hey, that's what it says. That's what it says, man. So you got to be built up. You got to take this thing serious. Revelation 20. I believe it's 7. No, it's verse 4. Revelation 20:4. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua and for the word of God, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Yahushua Mashiach 1,000 years. So got beheaded, man. So, you know, a lot of people ain't going to tell you about this scripture, but that's what it is, man. And it's talking about the last days, worshiping the beast. It's talking about the image, which is the system that you're going to trust in to eat, you know, to drink. Neither had received his mark upon their foreheads. Okay, talking about the MOTB. Okay, so guillotines, firing squads, whichever it is, man, it's going to be a terrible time. You know, if you ever heard of gray state, all these bills and laws, and guess what? Watch it. Watch it. Okay, look at that FEMA right on the back. They killed this man, and his family is gone. Okay, I never seen. It's like, I don't know how far they got into it, but he discusses all that. Fair use. David Crowley had a vision for America. He called it Gray State.
What is Gray State?
Gray State is less a movie than it is a warning. We do not live in a dictatorship, but we do live in a police state. What we're going to see is the unveiling of this gray state foisted upon America. Americans believe that they can't do anything. And day by day, they're becoming correct. It's a game of numbers, and we're losing.
January of 2015, 10 years ago, Crowley, his wife, and his daughter were found shot to death inside their Minnesota home. So, hey, man, take heed to some of these things, especially with the Bible, not just him. Okay, I don't know his whole ordeal, but hey, what he was visioning was a vision from the Lord, man. Okay, because we just went over a couple of the precepts, and this is exactly what we're preparing ourselves for, not carnally, like storing up foods or joining a militia, but spiritually, because this is a spiritual battle that we're going to be taking part in. Okay, which is to test our faith. Ultimately, if you're part of the elect, the Lord's going to fight for you, but it's going to be hard. Ain't no one getting through this easily. Don't let nobody deceive you thinking this is going to be easy. It's not. Okay, you got to forsake all this whole world, man. You pretty much already dead, man. You got to be dead to this world, man. And there's nothing your mother, your father, your kids, your job, anything you love the most, if you're not gonna be worthy if it's not Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. He got to be the first. Then everything else. Everything has to be in order, man. And there's plenty of stories in the book of Maccabees that talk about the mother and her 7 children, okay, who died to keep these laws, man. And that was just not to eat pork. How much more taking this MOTB? Now, pork is not punishable by death, but their love for the Lord exceeded the heathens, the fear of the heathen, man. And that's the type of mindset, type of mind you got to be in. That woman right there, that's just a woman. So imagine how built up that woman was, and if you're a man, your faith got to exceed the faith of the 7 children's, that mother over there in Maccabees. Okay, because this is the time, man.
And there's something about it that just kind of gets on you, and you just can't wash it off.
Credibility means nothing to me. What I care about is truth.
I don't think you're missing anything. The only thing you're missing is why.
So that's pretty much what we're talking about here in Second Esdras, the 16th chapter. Second Esdras 16 and 71, they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen. Talking about the elect, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. Okay, so all these things, man, whether you outside, inside, whatever it is, you're going to be tried like gold in the fire. Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. So the days of trouble is talking about Jacob's trouble. Okay. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for God is your guide. So he's going to be guiding us through these tribulations. Okay, but we got to build our faith up. The more you know about the Lord, the stronger you're going to get in believing in him, because this word is true. You're going to see that all the prophecies he's been able to deliver all those who trusted in him. Okay, that's what our forefathers did in the past, and we're adopting that same type of mindset. Ecclesiasticus chapter 2, verse 10. It says, look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? No one. Okay? And you got a great cloud of witnesses according to Hebrews 12:1 in the book of Hebrews 11, the 11th chapter you can look into. Read it all down. Second Esdras chapter 16 and verse 74. Hear, O ye, my beloved, talking about his elect, saith the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same, which is Jacob's trouble. He's going to deliver his elect. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for God is your guide, and the guide of them who keep my commandments. So it's a very important thing that those who fear the Lord, they're going to be doing with the Lord. They're going to be obedient to these commandments. Okay, they're gonna know. That's how they, by you keeping these commandments, you're gonna have the understanding of why you're doing. You're not just gonna do it just to do it. Okay, it comes with understanding. Okay, and precepts, saith the Lord God, let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift up themselves. Woe be unto them that are bound with their sins and covered with their iniquities, like as a field is covered with bushes, in the path thereof covered with thorns, that no man may travel through. And this is why we're trying to clear that path to show you that, hold on, we got the understanding now, which is the light in this dark world, on how to move in these last days, because we understand that this time is coming. So our behavior is changing, our conversation is changing, our mindset's changing. We're getting built up in the Lord. Then we're going to know who the Lord's chosen are. And some of them are even going to receive spiritual power in these last days. Okay, there's going to be more sightings, more UFOs, sort of UAPs. As a matter of fact, Dabu 7 said something about some UAP today. He said it was going as fast as a meteor. Okay, you're gonna hear about that. They have to reveal more and more, because there's going to be some things that are going to be unexplainable. Okay, in order for them to fulfill their agenda, they're going to, a little bit of the truth's going to be coming out, just so they can be a little more wicked, and vice versa. Okay, it says knowledge shall increase. That's both on the left-hand side and the right-hand side. And right now we're in the midst of this big, beautiful bill, which needs to be signed by Donald Duck. Okay, this is probably the hardest bill that you should know about. Has to sign. House passes Trump's tax, spending, and policy bill. President Trump scheduled to sign the bill into law at 5 p.m. on July 4th at the White House, locking in tax reductions and Medicaid cuts. So that's it, man. You know he gonna sign it. That's what he wants. All right. So that's tomorrow at 5, man. Now, a lot of people think it's good because there's some benefits. And hey, the Lord's merciful. Don't think, it's the end's not yet. But these are signs of that, the end being more evident. Okay. Psalm 6, 2nd Edges 16 and 78. It is left undressed and cast into the fire to be consumed therewith. If your path still got all these stumbling blocks in your path, you're going to be burnt up. It's better to, just like those brush fires, if you cleared the brush, there would be nothing to give the fire fuel. That's like this beautiful path that the elect are walking on. Okay. They're on that path, and Lord, we're happy that the Lord even brought us into this truth, because dying without understanding, we've seen it too many times. But you can't die if you got this truth, because you understand death is just a transition from one glory to another. And that's what the elect's going. They're going from glory to glory. All right. The Lord already made the decision. He already gave us our expected end. Whether you got to get beheaded, hey, that's probably one of the best ways to go. Okay. So we got to trust in the Lord. Let me finish up Matthew 24 in verse 4 again. And Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am a Mashiach, and shall deceive many. So you got to watch who you're listening to. Okay. They're going to be telling you, a lot of people are going to be telling you that they're anointed. Okay. Especially the way they're raising up Duck. A lot of people are going to trust in him, man. I was watching a video when he got shot in the air. They did slow motion about his air. I don't know if that's AI generated or what. But this is the time that we live in. You can't even trust what you see. I wouldn't be surprised if they make him start flying in the air, doing something. This is the type of technology that we have today. You really can't trust anything. AI is way more advanced than what people think it is today. Matthew 24:6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, which we hear today. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. We hear about wars. There's wars in Ukraine, wars in Israel and Iran, Syria. You know, there's talks about invasions of China into Taiwan and things like that. Wars here, oh, we're going to retaliate for what you did over here. Those are the wars and rumors of wars. But there's going to be a World War III according to Revelation, the 11th chapter. The second woe is past and the third woe cometh quickly. I believe that's Revelation 11 and 14. So that's all prophecy. You read Isaiah, the 3rd chapter, they said that the men shall die in a war. That's prophecy. Isaiah, the 4th chapter, 7 women shall take hold of one man. That's prophecy. Okay? Yes, Revelation 11 and 14. Second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly, and it's coming quickly. We're already in it. Matthew 24 and 7, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. We were talking about Japan when I first started this. Okay, Japan trembles under seismic barrage of over 900 earthquakes have jolted Japan in just 2 weeks. Okay, 900, that's insane. Okay. But this is the times that we're in, so we need to get prepared, and I'm going to end it right there. Lord's will, that was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rechah Kwadash. Shalom.